Anaerobic sports contain a lot of adaptations where the main focus will be speed and power. In a 100-metre sprint, your body and mainly your legs will need a lot of power, as this sport will be using maximum intensity and the duration is only around 10 to 15 seconds. And in order to create more power and speed, you need to train your body so it can adapt to having more power and speed. Having those skills at such a high intensity sport will improve your performance dramatically. Other skills may be to do with eating. Your fitness is hugely important for sports like these because your weight can easily affect your power, and the more heavy you are, the more power you have to create. So you need good health for this. When training, you can get many diseases if you overtrain, and can cause things like heart attacks if your body doesn't get used to the change in demand. This is why the best way to train is to gradually improve. When you get to an age where your body starts to ache more, doing fitness training can make your body become a lot more healthy, to make it easier for the future when you are older and perhaps struggle to walk. Therefore, with anaerobic training, speed and power are the main focus of the training, so for that 100-metre sprint you will finish in a better position. The neuromuscular system is one of the systems that adapts when you are training for a sport. This is down to the growth of the muscles in order to create that more power and speed. Firstly, there is hypertrophy. This is where there is muscle growth due to an increase in muscle cells and myofibrils. This means that there will be more fast glycolytic fibers and fast oxidative glycolytic fibers, which create that power. When the muscles grow in size, it is due to this, and there's more muscle cells and larger muscle cells. This is very important for a 100-metre sprinter, as an increase in fast glycolytic and fast oxidative glycolytic fibers is crucial for that extra speed. Very similar to hypertrophy, there is hyperplasia. This is another cause of an increase in muscle size, as there is splitting up of the muscle cells, which causes it to be bigger. Both of hypertrophy and hyperplasia is responsible for any muscle growth, which it is for an athlete or not, whether it is for an athlete or not. When these muscles are growing, your tendons need to grow as well. If this didn't happen, your muscles will be disproportionate compared to your tendon, and tendon may not be able to handle it. Therefore, to prevent any type of injury, the tendon also grows whilst your muscle grows, in order to keep up with the strength of the muscles. And obviously, if there are more fibers and your muscles are bigger, you'll have a larger force generation. For example, in the legs, for a 100-metre sprinter, a larger force of the muscles in the legs will give the runner more speed at that high intensity. When you are moving, you have proprioceptors, such as muscle spindles and Golgi tendon organs. These detect movement and stretch in the muscles that give information to the central nervous system. Therefore, they will send back information when your legs are stretching when doing a 100-metre sprint. When training, these proprioceptors become a lot more sensitive and receive information more easily. This enables more control in your muscles when running. When the brain sends signals to your muscles, it goes through a neural pathway. The impulse goes quicker when exercising, as more contractions need to take place. Therefore, when training, your body will get used to the faster impulse and will travel through the neural pathway quicker. This will then overall improve your reaction time as well. In the graph here, it is hard to see, but it is a Wingate test completed by a student. The vertical axis is the force and power generated at the time within 20 seconds, as this was a maximal intensity experiment. As you can see, the peak power is around 4 seconds of the exercise. It then starts to lower as they start to fatigue until the exercise stops. So if the student has trained for a while, if the student has trained for a while and comes back and does it again, the peak power would most likely be higher and the duration of the peak power would be longer. Therefore, if this was a 100-metre sprinter, the training and the adaptations of the body would increase that peak power, as the muscles would be stronger and would generate more force. Another system that gets adapted through training is your energy system. In anaerobic training, the energy systems being used would be the ATP system and your glycolytic system. In the ATP-PC system, the ATP breaks down to form ADP, where there is now only 2 phosphates. This is to release energy. Then the PC, which contains a phosphate, will also break apart, and that phosphate will resynthesize the ADP to form ATP again. And that is how energy gets released for the muscles to work. However, this system only lasts 10 seconds. Therefore, as anaerobic sports could last after 4 to 5 minutes, there is another system, and that is the glycolytic system. This starts with the breakage of glycogen to form glucose and then pyruvic acid and then lactic acid. This creates 2 ATP. This system lasts around 2 to 3 minutes. Therefore, when training, there could be an increase in PC stores, and which will increase the amount of energy released. An increase in energy will give the muscle more power, energy, meaning more power can be created. The body gets used to the demands of the demands when training. Glycogen stores could also be increased in the training as well. There is also an increase in anaerobic enzymes. These are the enzymes that break down the substances in the glycolytic system. So if there is more of them, then the system will break down quicker and be more efficient. Lactic acid is a waste product produced by the glycolytic system, and it can affect someone's performance hugely. Therefore, if the body can train and adapt to an increase in the lactic acid threshold, then it will be extremely beneficial for an athlete such as a 400-meter runner. Your basal metabolic rate is crucial for your health, as if you increase this, you'll be able to burn more calories. This can all be done by exercising and training to improve your body's physique for that sport. As you can see in this graph, it shows your lactate threshold and what it does to your workload when you've done this. This is about 2 millimoles of lactate produced. And the graph starts to become a lot more vertical when you've hit obla, or known as hit the wall. Therefore, if you increase your lactate threshold to perhaps 5 millimoles, then the graph will be shifted to the right, and you will be able to, and you retire a lot slower. As a result of this, an 100-meter sprinter will perhaps have their peak power for a longer period, causing that speed and power to finish in a lot quicker time. Training is crucial for anyone to get better at anaerobic sports, as the body really needs to adjust to what you want it to do. In our skeletal system, exercising and training creates more strength in our bones and makes them more dense. This is due to osteoblasts. These are cells that build bone. These come from things like tissue cartilage and convert them to bone. This process is called ossification. As these increase through exercise, there will be more bone and obviously make it stronger. Osteoblasts also move to the surface of the bone, which creates the denseness of them. Calcium is very good for the bone health. Therefore, a higher amount of intake of calcium can maintain a high quality of bone, as well as helping it with ossification. Collagen is a protein found in the connective tissue of the bone, and it's responsible for the flexibility of the bone. When training and exercising, your bones should adapt to a better range of movement. This is definitely a big factor for a 100-meter sprinter, as there is a lot more flexibility in the legs, for example. Then the muscle of the legs, the movement of the legs will become more quicker, creating more speed. Training is also good for your joints. For example, your articular cartilage and your synovial fluid. These are both responsible for preventing friction with the joints and the bones and the ligaments. And through the adaptations to the body, there becomes an increase of these and less and less friction would occur, making the bones even more free to move around, also giving that increase of range of movement. Ligaments connect your bones together, therefore they also need to be increased in size and strength, so they can have the actual strength of connecting the bones. Therefore, when these grow in size, the bones will be able to stretch the ligaments, as they will be able to handle it without causing any injury. There is a disease in your joints called arthritis and can affect your movement badly. This normally occurs at old age when your bones start to shrink and get weaker. Therefore, if you train your bones well now, they will have a long-term effect and hopefully keep them strong when you get older as well. Another disease is osteoporosis. This occurs in the bones and makes them weaker. This is why we also need to keep our bones strong. A negative side of training could be overtraining. This is where you have done something to your body that is just not capable of handling. For example, weightlifting. If you're trying to lift weights that your body can't handle, then it can cause many injuries such as muscle torn and ligament damage. This could then even ruin your sporting career if you do something bad enough to cause permanent damage. So that gradual increase of quality of your training is the best way to improve in your sport. The image above shows the remodeling of the bone, including osteoblast and osteoclast. It shows the effects of osteoclast, which are cells that break down old bone, and then the osteoblasts will join together to help rebuild the bone to give it more strength. As a result of this, it shows that there are even more osteoclasts and osteoblasts than there would be more modelling of the bones, which will cause the bones to be stronger more often. This then, of course, extremely benefits the 100-metre sprinter, as they have stronger bones and will generate that higher power, and then increases in tendons and ligaments will prevent injuries as well.